Hello there, thanks for watching the replay. Clowminzer here, going live. Want to shoot a quick scope here. Hi, welcome to the call. If you just joined, let me know where you're at. Let me know where you're coming in from. What part of the country are you in? Somebody say hi just to make sure my chat's working, if you will. Kansas City, right on. Thank you. All right. Hi. All right. Oh, thanks for the hearts. Haven't even done anything yet. I want to make sure. Hey, how's it going? Southern California, right on, right on. Okay, welcome, welcome. It's my hello. Okay. Hey, so I want to shoot a quick scope here on 6 steps you can take to avoid burnout. A lot of my existing coaching clients and even people that I'm talking to, like new people that I'm onboarding, burnout is a big part of some of the challenges that people are facing on a daily basis. And so I want to share some tips in terms of how to avoid burnout. And the number one tip is to make sure that you're actually focusing on stuff that's on purpose for you. Okay, a lot of times small business owners, or I tend to work with a lot of professional service providers or entrepreneurs, as they start out on something in life or a career, the part of the work that they really enjoy the most is what they start with. Hello, thanks for joining. The part that they start off is what they really love, and then they find themselves getting in the trenches of doing a bunch of the work that just doesn't line up with who they are or what their values are or what's on purpose for them. So if you want to make sure that you're really a way to avoid burnout is make sure that you're living on point and living on purpose. For the guys listening, this is really, really important. So the guys, a lot of my male clients, they're married, have a couple kids, they're in a career, they have a house, they have kids, braces, school, whatever it is, and they feel the pressure of the grind to perform, to go out there and slay the dragons, bring home the bacon, so to speak, and all of that. And what happens is they're actually living their lives kind of in the grind, and they never really step back and look at what's really important to them, what do they value, what's on point, what's their purpose. And any guy that's not living on purpose will ultimately burn out. So for the men listening, it is critical that you step back and really, sit with the question, what is on purpose for me? Hey, thanks for watching. Thank you for that. Really, what's on point for you and what's on purpose? So that's number one, to avoid burnout. Make sure that you're in alignment with something that's meaningful for you, something that's on purpose. All right, that's you being on the grind. Well, take some time and reflect. Number 2 is take control of your life to avoid burnout. This goes back to, the famous Stephen Covey, be proactive versus reactive. And most of us are reacting, putting out fires in life, or reacting to our own emotions. And so we're not purposefully managing our activities, purposely driving our projects forward. So in order to take control of that, and I know a lot of people I talk with have a deep wound around goal setting and intention. Because if you consistently set goals, hi there, if you consistently set goals and intentions, a lot of times you're not going to hit the mark, and it's brutal for the ego. The bigger our egos are, the bigger the egos we have, sometimes the more challenging it is to have goals and intentions. But if you're going to take control and really avoid burnout, you have to consistently ask yourself, what do I want to create? What is my intention? What are my goals? And you got to get them written down and make sure that they're focused. Intentions are better than goals. I agree. I totally agree. It's all about intentions. So the other thing in terms of taking control is your intentions and your goals, but to make lists. I'm a big believer in lists, and then managing those lists. There's so many priority management tools or task management tools out there. The one that I use is called Wunderlist. That's WUNDERLIST.com. And that's the one that I use to stay on track of stuff and help me schedule, gather all my thoughts, mind dump, all that. But if you're going to take control and to avoid burnout, you've got to get stuff out of your head and be able to capture it with technology. Now, the great thing about Wunderlist is you can access it through all of your devices, your cell phones, your tablets, your computer. And so if you want to avoid burnout, get organized, take control of all the stuff that you need to do, both personally and with your business and your projects. Number 3, strategy, if you will, for overcoming burnout is you've got to let go of what I call shoulds, coulds, and ought tos. So, hello and welcome to the broadcast. You got to be willing to let go of shoulds, coulds, ought tos, have tos, whatever it is. Those things just bombard us and weigh us down. A really good assignment, I give some of my coaching clients, is make a list of all the things that you think you should do today, this week, this month, and go over it with somebody. Go over it with your coach, go over it with a buddy, go over it with a mastermind person, and just look at that stuff and then have a ritual. I would say burn that list. You should not be living your life based on shoulds. It is the easiest way to burn out. Thank you for all the hearts and the love. You guys are feeling that tip there. We have one precious life to live, and we're not here to live based on shoulds, ought tos, and the expectations of others. So make sure that you're in touch with who you are and what makes you tick. And like I said, you have one precious life to live. Make sure that you're not spending all your times on shoulds and shouldn'ts. Number 4 is to exercise regularly. This is a great way to avoid burnout. You've got to set yourself first. Some of my other scopes you'll hear me talk about creating your ideal week or your perfect week. You've got to schedule your workouts. You've got to make time for yourself first. Get those in your calendar. For me, I'm about ready to blast off right here. I'm what I call a day trainer. So I train during the day on my lunch times. I'm a Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner. And so, pretty much on lunch times, at noon, I'm training jiu-jitsu. That's my thing. It's my therapy. It's my a way to keep me from getting burned out. Gets me in my body. It's amazing. But figure out what works for you. Some people like to work out early in the morning. Makes sense. I used to do that going to the gym. I don't do my workouts in the morning. I save it for the middle of the day. Like I said, I'm a day trainer, and I train at lunch. And so you do Shotokan karate. Awesome. Love martial arts. So I've got my background is I've got a Nidan, which is a 2nd degree black belt in Aikido, and I also currently hold a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I've been doing martial arts for a long time and love martial arts. So anyhow, number 4 is to exercise and make sure that you schedule it. Number 5 is to manage your stress. So, some of the things that I've done over the years or practice is journaling. I find journaling is a great way to mind dump and get all the stuff out of my head, out in front of me. It typically doesn't look so big once it's out in front of me. The other way to what I call manage stress is to manage yourself, self-management. And a great self-management practice, thank you for the hearts, self-management practice is having some people in your life that you can what I call clear with. Clear is just getting something off your chest. If something's bothering you, you had an upset with a client or your significant other, or you're freaked out about money or whatever it is, you've got to have somebody that you can just clear with, somebody that can just hear you. They're not going to coach you. They're not going to give you feedback. They're not going to fix you, but they just hear you and what I call clear you. They just get you. So you got to have people like that, whether it be a coach, a therapist, a friend, a mentor, a mastermind buddy, a colleague at work. But in order to manage your stress, you have to get it out of your head either through journal, but even better is to communicate that to another human being, and then it's no longer on you. Of course, meditation. I'm a big advocate of meditation. I'm also a meditator myself, teach meditation. And any other mindfulness awareness practices. There's tons. You'll probably hear me talk about more of those in my other scopes. But make sure that you manage stress and have some sort of practice around that. And then the sixth tip here today to avoid burnout is be extremely generous. Be extremely generous. Be a giver. Be generous with your time. Be generous with your attention. Be generous with your knowledge. Give. Random act of kindness, giving of your attention, giving of your time, giving of your wisdom, giving of your experience. There's an old Zen adage, or an old Zen saying. There was a student, a disciple, and he was very discouraged along his path of enlightenment and his meditation practice and where it was going. And he went to the Zen master and asked the Zen master for some words of encouragement. And the Zen master said to him, if you're discouraged, my advice is go encourage others. And I think that's just brilliant wisdom in that, is if we're burned out, I know it may sound strange, it may be counterintuitive, but go encourage somebody else who's burned out or somebody else who's stressed out. Or, like I said, be generous with your attention, be generous with your listening, and go be there for someone else. You'll be surprised of how much better you will feel. All right, those are the 6 tips. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any thoughts? No questions, no thoughts? All right. If you're watching this replay, or if you're on this replay and you think somebody else could benefit from this message, you can swipe up or sideways and then share it with your group. I'll go encourage someone. Awesome. Thank you. If this message resonates with you, please share it with your Twitter followers or other followers here on Scope. I'm going to go ahead and check out right now. I'm going to go get suited up and go get on the mat and get beat up. All right. You guys have an awesome day, and I may do another scoop this evening. Or scope. I keep calling them scoops, but they're scopes. So hopefully I'll catch you again a little bit later today. Thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing day.